It is 10:11 right here in the heart of the Riverbend on RiverBender.com. It's a Friday in downtown Alton, and Mayor-elect for the city of Jerseyville, Kevin Stork, on the line now. Sir, how are we today?
We are great, CJ.
And want to congratulate you on your election night victory, and want to ask you, how was the campaign? Was it a hard-fought one, and are you feeling better now that it's over?
Definitely glad that it's over. It was a different campaign for sure, running for mayor. I ran twice as a commissioner of accounts and finance, and everything kind of progressed from each election every time. First one just seemed like we put out a handful of signs, and then with the invention of social media, you're just campaigning more and more. So,
kid. Well, yeah. And Kevin, I always tell people it seems like as the local, as any election creeps up, it's like you're 4 months out, and then boom, you're 4 minutes away from polls closing sometimes.
Yeah, that was it. But yeah, I'm glad with the results and ready to move on and get going with some projects.
And now, when is your swear-in date?
We are going to do May 2nd is the swear-in date. We were waiting for all the election to be certified, and that happened actually last Tuesday, and then we should be good to go for May 2nd.
Absolutely. And if you don't mind me asking, just for the folks that are, trying to get more familiar with you, take us through some of the things that you were doing in your previous role for the city of Jerseyville.
Well, as a commissioner of accounts and finance, we're setting the appropriations, setting the tax levies, all those kind of things, just really looking at the money flow through the city, being able to what are our options for funding projects, whether it be grants or whether it be self-funded. Loans, things like that. So that was kind of the role of the accounts and finance. And actually, that in the way our structure is set up, that role is also the mayor when the mayor's not available. So for me, it was a definite transition as a logical step to take going from accounts and finance to mayor.
And that's kind of what I was getting out of it, too, because, I'm here in Alton, but I do follow along with everything as, Riverbender reports things. And it kind of seemed like a really nice, a nicer transition that you were in that position beforehand. And, I got to ask you, Kevin, what was one of the biggest things that you were running on? Was there a campaign message that you had, or was it just, here's what I want to do for the city and here's what I got?
It's more, but like we said, just here's what I want to do for the city. I'm very much a logical, level-headed guy. I listen to all sides and and I'll make a good, I think, decision that helps the majority of the residents of Jerseyville. I understand, maybe some of the decisions aren't going to be in everyone's benefit, but the key is going to help overall the city of Jerseyville. And I think that's, kind of how I look at things. And I think the city's taken that approach here most recently since I've been on the council. And,
part of the, what I wanted to ask you, too, is whenever you're, going through this campaign, was there something, when you're going and meeting with constituents, when you're going and knocking on doors, or you're just spreading the campaign message, what was there a common concern or a common, maybe statement that a constituent made to you about what they'd like to see?
Not necessarily. Everybody had their different passions that they wanted. I think in small town local politics, it's not as big as we see in some of these national elections. A lot of people were saying they wanted dog parks, or they wanted the splash pad, or just small improvements to be done in the city. And that is our goal. We just passed a capital improvement plan that kind of takes us out multiple years, and it's a mix of the things you can't see, the infrastructure, the stormwater drainage, but also the park and rec concepts of getting a splash pad in, or some improvements at our basketball courts and things like that. So that was more of what I heard from the public when I went out there, just things that they personally wanted, but no big, general themes.
And Mayor-elect Stork, we have a text line and a lot of congratulations coming in from the 618 numbers, and that's got to be cool to know that you had a lot of support in this. And was there a hurdle in this campaign, or was it just making sure you got the message out to enough people?
I think just getting the message out to enough people. We seem to have a pretty.
You did.
The turnout was better, I think, this election. I think maybe because we had more people running for positions. I think last election total votes for the city of Jerseyville were in the 800 range to 900 range. And I think we doubled that this last election for our city.
You did, and that's what I think is great. And you were talking about the capital improvement plans, and sir, I've always said the last couple of months, just seeing some of the news coming out of Jerseyville, you guys are really doing some great work and really, making some developments for not only this generation, but for generations to come. And it's really cool to see that. And I wanted to ask you too, what when you get sworn in, is there something you're looking to do right away?
No, not necessarily. I think we just will stay on the path that we've been on, where there's not going to be too much change within the council. We're changing the commissioner streets. John Miles got voted in there. But he hadn't worked for the city in the past, so I think he knows the city, and he has a vision there too. I just think we'll continue on that path of that growth that you mentioned, that you're hearing and that's out there about the city. I think we'll continue in that path and make Jerseyville a place where, we attract residents, visitors, and, hopefully businesses alike. Absolutely. And another big takeaway before I let you go, sir, is just how, much of a community you guys have in Jerseyville. It seems like when you guys do the winter lights and the Christmas at the Town Square event, or the country Christmas, excuse me. There's so many great things that really just pull everybody together. And I really think that that's what makes Jerseyville such a special place. And, I think that you're going to start seeing a lot more of us from Alton and around the areas coming up and seeing what you guys have. I really do. Good. Well, I'll hold you to it, CJ. I will hold you to it. With that being said, Kevin Stork is the mayor-elect for the city of Jerseyville, and didn't want to keep you on the phone too much today. Just wanted to kind of get your insights and your thoughts. Now, when you're running, I got to ask you this. Was the family going, are you sure you want to run for mayor? Are you sure you want to do this? Because I know that sometimes families kind of throw the flag up, or was it all hands on deck, let's do this? No, I come from a big family. I had huge family support. I joke with them almost too much at sometimes. I had a lot of voices coming at me with things to do. But no, I appreciate all the support. My dad sat on city council for 20 years also as Commissioner of Streets, and I think that's what probably started my interest in it. And when I got elected that night, everybody's giving me congratulations, and I just pretty much get a fist bump from my dad, and he just says, "Well, get to work." No kidding. Yeah. And one last thing for you, Kevin, is what's your message just to the constituents that did vote for you, that didn't vote for you up in Jerseyville? What's your message to them as your term commences? I think my message for everybody is, I'm willing to listen to any and every citizen of Jerseyville and hear what they have to say. And like I mentioned earlier in the conversation, I'll listen to all sides and I'll make a very informed decision, and we'll watch the city continue to grow. Absolutely. Kevin, thank you so much for your time and calling in. I know that you're getting busy as the term's getting ready to start. We really appreciate your time on RiverBender.com today. Hey, thanks. Appreciate it. 10:19 on this 21st day of April. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back for more of our daily show after this.